Welcome back to Ikoria spoilers. There is a day 2 for this week. This weekend's going to be the Commander spoiler, so I'm not going to be talking about that. But the more I see this set, the more this is becoming my new favorite set ever. Period. End of story. I mean, my last favorite set was probably War of the Spark, if I'm going to be honest. No, it was. I actually don't know what if you were to ask me what my favorite set is. That's a video I should do at some point. But yeah, this is quickly becoming my favorite set ever. So obviously you can see the cards up the screen. I'm not gonna. Can I enlarge this a little bit? Let me see if I can enlarge this just a little bit. Problem is, if I enlarge it anymore, they're not all going to fit on the screen. So that's going to be that's unfortunately going to be the best we can do. But let's just get on with it. So we did have a couple more cards spoiled yesterday, and then we got all the cards spoiled today, or previewed today. This week is going to be Commander, so don't expect me to be doing any videos on that. Let's just get into it. Koulikov, the Titanate, a.k.a. King Kong. 3 green, 3 of any color for a rare. Legendary ape creature. 7/6. With no downside, by the way. Should point that out. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So long as that creature is power 5 or less, you should be good. When this card attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment depending player controls. And you can pay 1 of any color and 1 green to return target human you control to owner's hand. This card gains indestructible until the end of turn. Well, this thing's all value. Take the human thing out of the equation for a second, because obviously if you're running this with the human ability, you're probably in a human deck kind of build. So take that out of the equation. When it enters the battlefield, you already have a removal spell, so you're dealing 7 damage to something. So far, I haven't seen very many things with 7+ toughness, naturally speaking. I've seen a couple, the Titanus Rex card, which is the Godzilla, one of the Godzilla ones, and one of the versions of Space Godzilla. Oh god, the Void something or other. One's like an 8/8, one's an 11/11. So they are in the set. We'll probably get more, but that's a very large removal spell in and of itself. Then in theoretically, if it survives, then you have a creature that's going to basically be taking out artifacts and enchantments defending creature or player controls every time it swings. Now, it doesn't have trample or anything, but you got trample counters in the set. So you've got the beauty of mechanic counters is that these vanilla creatures quickly don't have to be vanilla creatures anymore. That is the glorious beauty of mechanic counters. Ultimately, I love this card. Oh yeah, this will find a home somewhere, no doubt. Moving on to that cards that I think actually got spoiled earlier today. Labyrinth Raptor, Nightmare Dinosaur Rare, 1 black, 1 red for a 2/2 menace creature. Whenever creature you control with menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a creature blocking it. You can also pay Rakdos, black and red. Creatures you control with menace get +1/+0 until the end of turn. So I've heard someone describe it as a menace lord. That's not inaccurate. It's not pumping per se. You can pay on it to pump, but it's not pumping per se. And it's only pumping the power, so that is a little bit of a catch-22, but with menace, I can understand why they would do that, because with menace, it's forcing them to block with more creatures. And if a creature with menace does have to be blocked, let's just assume that someone blocks this thing with like a 4/4 and a 3/3. One of those things is dying. So no matter what, this thing, you're going to get value out of this. And if you're giving other things menace, or other things already have menace, there you go. So it's a good card. And a 2/2 for 2 with menace on its own is a good rate. So absolutely. Primal Empathy, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 of any color for an enchantment, uncommon. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Otherwise, put a +1 counter on creatures you control. I really like this card. Only this is the one problem with this card, and it is a bit of a problem. Ultimately, I think it's a good card and I like it. But if you don't have creatures on the field, this card legitimately doesn't do anything. It's just sitting there waiting to be removed. And there's clearly a solid amount of enchantment and artifact removal in this set so far. So you better hope that you can get some activations of this. Otherwise, it's eventually just going to be finding a home in the graveyard. But I do like it. Now, I think we all remember the Rosewater teaser from Blogatog. And he mentioned the highest aura or highest power and toughness granting aura in Magic history. Colossification, with its alternate art too, which, given that alternate art, by the way, I'm guessing that's a promo card. So you're not going to get it in like a collector booster. And I'll be frankly honest too. Looking at both these, I think I like the cat one better. I'm actually not certain what the deal with the alternate version actually is, like where you would get this version from. Anyway, Colossification is 2 green, 5 any color for 7 mana. Rare enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When Colossification enters the battlefield, tap the creature that you were enchanting. This creature gets +20/+20, which eats your heart out, Emrakul. That means I can literally turn a 1/1 flying Raptor into a creature that would beat the crap out of Emrakul. Here's the beauty. Here's what I love about this. Not just as a card, it's perfectly adequate. I mean, there's ways you can easily work around the tap mechanic, and if not, if you just somehow are able to get it out early, wait a turn, wait it out, and then have fun. But here's what I like about this from a lore perspective. We've met the Eldrazi. We've met these Eldritch Horrors. We met freaking Emrakul, who was a 15/15. Probably the big, take out, obviously, the big furry monster, the 99 creature from, I don't remember which unset that was, honestly. One of the unsets. But the biggest creature ever put into Magic at that point, minus Merit Lag. Or Merit Large, I can't remember. Minus that thing. But the Ikoria is just like, yeah, the Eldrazi ain't nothing. Like, the Eldrazi mean nothing compared to what we got on Ikoria. So I love the fact that Magic's like, no. Hold my beer. So I love that. And it's a fun card. I definitely find a home for it. I got an unblockable deck I was using it in just to mess with people. My little 0/1 unblockable creature, my little 1/1 unblockable creature. It's made at 21/21. Oh, it's tapped. Okay. Can you kill it this turn? No. Boop. Gone. All right. So it's a fun card. I like it. Again, I think I like the cat art better. Back for more. 1 black, 1 green, 4 of any color. For an instant uncommon, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. When you do, it fights 1 target creature you don't control. I like it. I like the flavor text on it. How can you be so sure you pierce his heart? Do you even know where its heart is? As a recursion spell, that's actually pretty good, especially if you got a big creature in the grave. It's going to fight something. It's going to kill something. You're going to use it appropriately. These do have art, but some of these just didn't get spoiled with their art. Clash of Titans is 2 red for a 3 mana, or 2 red, 3 of any color for 5 mana for an instant. Target creature fights another target creature. That's pretty much at instant. It's fine. But I mean, Prey Upon is far better. That being said, it's actually, looking at it again, it's not, Prey Upon's better for cheapness. But this is actually, you're forcing your opponent's creatures to fight each other. Therefore, they're actually taking each other out. So, even though it's a little expensive, good card. I can see using it. I like this. Let me see here. It's Archipelagore. Okay. Not Archipelago, but Archipelagore. Basically, it's a giant Leviathan so large, it's basically like an archipelago. 2 blue, 5 mana color for a 7/7 Leviathan with a mutate cost of 5 and 1 blue. So it's a little cheaper. When this creature mutates, tap up to X target creatures where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. These creatures don't untap during the controller's untap step. As it stands, pretty much look at it as a 7/7 vanilla creature, because that is one thing I'm noticing with some of these mutate creatures. While their effect is actually quite good, they are very, what's the best way for me to put it? Without the mutate, because a lot of their abilities are just how many times it's mutated. If you're not mutating it, then it's just kind of, yeah. Otherwise, I mean, if you're mutating it, great ability, but it's also a pretty pricey guy too. Even with its mutate, it's still 6. It's in mono, but it's still a little pricey. It's not like the Apex creatures where their mutate costs 6, but clearly their effects are more worth it than this. But still, it's a solid card. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty decent. Keep Safe. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control and draw a card for 1 blue, 1 of any color, an instant. It's a counter spell. They're definitely going to be cards that are going to target stuff. So, I mean, I've used cards like this. What's the one that costs 1 blue. I have that card. I only got 1 copy of it, but I got that card. It's basically one of those. General Enforcer, 1 black, 1 white for a human soldier, uncommon. 2/3. Legendary humans you control are indestructible. You can pay 2 and Orzhov. Exile a card from your graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 white human creature soldier token. I get it's supposed to be paired with a general that we'll get to a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, there's also a hunter we got to get to too, who got spoiled, and he's a mythic. Like they spoiled a lot of mythics today, at least 3. I don't know, honestly. I'm kind of I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to feel about this one, because how many legendary... The real thing is, yeah, the value of it, you're paying 1 for removing a creature from the grave, so you'll get 1, but the creature you're getting isn't even legendary. So, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's not bad, it's cheap, so it's not bad. At minimum, it's a solid card just for its convert mana cost and power with no downside. I just know, for the human archetype, it's kind of weird. Voracious Great Shark, so basically Jaws. 2 blue, 3 of any color for a rare shark, which is a creature type now. 5/4, flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter target artifact or creature spell. Well, this is basically a giant freaking counter spell that you'll actually love to play. Especially since it's countering creatures too, which is pretty impressive. I'm surprised because because I double checked the Rosewater teaser earlier today. He did say we were going to get a shark beast. This is not a shark beast. This is just a shark. So I'm wondering what the shark beast we're getting is. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, no, it's good. I would use it definitely. Death's Oasis. Now I'm wondering if we're going to get maybe a cycle of wedge-colored enchantments to go along with this one. Right now we just got the, I guess we would call it Obzon one. But although I guess, yeah, we're probably going to be sticking with the Tarkir names because they were the first ones to do it. Even though these all have names, like these areas for each of them do have location have names, we'll probably stick with it. So the Sultan or the Obzon colors. Enchantment rare. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into the grave, and then return a creature card with lesser converted mana cost than the creature that died from your graveyard to your hand. You can also pay 1 of any color, sacrifice this card. You gain life equal to the greatest converted mana cost among creatures you control. In essence, what you're trying to, I guess, do is get the biggest thing out through that effect, and then eventually sack it and gain life from it. Actually, this is pretty good. Like, this is actually pretty solid. You got a couple of small guys. Well, no, you can't have a small guy. It's a good backup for when your bigger stuff dies. Because then you're going to be able to get something no matter what, and if you so need the life back, you can gain it back. Again, like I said, I wonder if we're going to be getting a cycle of this. My right now, my guess is yes. We'll probably get a cycle of them. And they all tie back into, say, the creatures themselves. Because we now do have the official spoiler for the apex predator of this color. I can't remember the guy's name, but this apex predator. Spoilers. It's his Godzilla Kaiju alternate art is Biolante, which I'm like, oh, give me. So yeah, but otherwise it's good. It's a good card. Auspicious Sturix. Elk Beast, 1 green, 4 of any color. Mutate cost is 5 of any color and 1 green. 6/6. When this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards. X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Put those permanent cards onto the battlefield. Let me tell you this. Expensive? A little bit. But look, it's in monocolor, so it's easy to play ultimately. 6/6 for 5. Just on its own is on the curb or even above the curb slightly. So it's a creature you can just put down and it's a big wall for a little bit. Then you just keep mutating it a couple times to maybe some smaller mutate creatures, and you are getting more creatures on the field immediately. Like, wait a minute. There we go. Like that. Mutate, like if you mutate just once, okay, you get 1 card from the top of your deck. Or yeah, you get 1 card from the top of your deck. Example where X is the number of times, and then put those permanents on the battlefield. Yeah. So you mutate it once. Yeah, you get 1. Mutate it again, where the number of times this card is mutated. you're getting 2 permanents then. You need to do it one more time, you're getting 3 permanents. Yeah, like, and then you're still stacking onto whatever this is at that point. So, yeah, don't sleep on some of these things. And the mutate decks are going to be wacky. And I'm going to build one. You know I'm going to build one. Cheville, Bane of Monsters. 1 black, 1 green for a 1/3 human rogue mythic. I wasn't expecting that. I'm wondering how the mythics are really going to be balanced out this time around. Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponent controls no permanent with a bounty counter on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Okay, I get it. I do get it. It's a good card, too, ultimately. Like, there's no downside to this card. Because at weakest, it's a 1/3 Death Touch for 2. That's good. That's good. But then you're starting to add stuff on. And the idea is that eventually something with a bounty counter is going to block this and die. The big problem I'm also seeing, though, with this is a little squishy. 3 toughness in a set full of monsters like this, a little squishy. And you might be saying, well, that's what the Death Touch is for. Yeah, but that's not actually what I'm getting at. Because you'll notice there isn't a lot of high-end, so far anyway, there isn't a lot of giant removal in the set. So I'm going to suspect that, and there are a couple cards that destroy stuff too. I'm going to suspect that we will be seeing some more removal down the line, and the little bit of removal we have would easily actually get rid of this thing. So, good, but I wouldn't get overly excited about it. Indestructible Link. 1 black, 4 of any color. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink counter on it. So it's a resurrection, and you give it lifelink. I'm down. That's fine. That's good. Trumpeting Gnarl, or Gnar. Gnarl? It's not Gnarl. It's Gnar, because like Gnarl, but without the L. 1 blue, 1 green, 1 of any color for a 3/3 beast with mutate. Hybrid Simic Mana 2, so 2 hybrid Simic Mana, and 3 of any color. When this creature mutates, you put a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. This one's going to be a monster. Definitely, because if you can mutate multiple times on this thing, you're getting free monsters out there. So yeah, I'm perfectly down for this thing. It's a nice looking card. I'm not going to go over each of these, but the Savai Crystal, basically the area in question where the 3 points of mana basically converge and make this terrain. And they're basically monostones, which we need. So yeah, and they have cycling, which is cool. Mythos of Nethroli, I think is the name of it. And that is the Obzon Apex Predator. Or Apex Monster, I should say. Not Predator, but Monster. We know this is going to be a cycle because there's 2 other ones spoiled. Mythos of Neroli is 1 black, 2 of any color. Instant, rare. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or if green-white was spent to cast this. Okay, I think I know what they mean. I think they mean destroy target non-land permanent. Basically, destroy a creature, but if white and green were paid for it, just destroy non-land permanent. I think that's what they mean. The problem is that is terrible, and I mean terribly worded. Like, let me just rephrase the sentence here. Destroy target creature, but if green and white were played, destroy target non-land permanent instead. How hard is it to rearrange that? Seriously, the wording, I think that's what they're trying to mean on this. I even saw some other people too, confused about what that meant. I think, though, it is that you can either destroy a creature, but if the white and green were spent, you can actually also destroy a target non-land permanent. Either way, it's a good card. It is a good card either way. It's just very badly worded, in my opinion. Also, the Mythos of Snapdax. That sounds like a freaking cereal mascot. I'm Snapdax! Woo! 2 white, 2 of any color for a sorcery. Rare. Each player chooses an artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control and then sacrifices the rest. If Rakdos was spent to cast a spell, you choose a permanent for each player instead. Essentially, if you're in a multiplayer game, I'm choosing each card that gets to stay. Look, it's it's kind of a board wipe, but not exactly. I do like these effects. They are fun control cards. Does make me kind of want to make a Mardu control deck. I like making, I'm kind of a control player in some regards. I actually have like a bunch of control decks. Still haven't made ones for all the color combinations, but I'm pretty much there. But yeah, I should make some for some green ones as well. Blood Curdle. 1 black, 3 of any color for an instant common. Destroy target creature. Put a menace counter on a creature you control. At 4 mana for common, that's actually really good. As long as you have a creature to get the full benefit out of it. Otherwise, I mean, it's still fantastic. You're still destroying a creature. I mean, 4 is kind of a lot, but in this kind of set, for a sealed environment, oh yeah, this will be a good card. Shredded Sails is 1 red, 1 of any color for an instant common. Choose one. Destroy target artifact, or it deals 4 damage to target creature with flying, or you can do 2, or you cycle it for 2. Look, it destroys the Apex of Thunder, so there you go. I guess there's a reason these guys don't, go over, the Apex of Thunder stays out of that area. It's a decent little card. It's not the best removal in the world, but it's a card that's going to do something. Call of the Death Dealer is 1 black, 2 of any color for sorcery. Uncommon. Return up to 2 target creature cards, a total converted mana cost, 3 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on one of them, on either of them, and then a Menace counter on either of them. So essentially, you're getting 2 free cards. Yeah, you're getting 2 creatures back from your grave. Converted mana cost 3 or less. Let's say this Glowstone Recluse over here that we'll get to. And something else, and you can choose to give one of them Death Touch, one of them Menace, or both of them Menace and Death Touch. Either way, you're getting a lot of value out of this card. And I'm not a big fan of black, and I'll even say this is a damn good card. Black's getting some good cards in this set. Proud Wild Bonder, 2 hybrid Gruul mana and 2 of any color for a 4/3 human warrior without a downside. So already a really good card. Trample. Creatures you control with Trample you may have this creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. I've never truly understand. Does that basically mean you're saying, okay, yeah, it just wasn't blocked this turn, but I blocked it. Yeah, I'm assigning it like it wasn't blocked. Sorry. Is that what it basically means? So you're kind of got a pseudo unblockable? I don't know. But anyway, it's a good card regardless. Glowstone Recluse, and there's the cool alternate art. I like the alternate art a lot on that, actually. But Glowstone Recluse is a 2/3 spider for 1 green and 2 of any color. So we're already on the curb, and it's uncommon. Its mutate cost is 3 of any color and 1 green. Reach, and whenever this creature mutates, you put 2 +1 counters on it. That's going to get pretty nuts pretty quick. So if you are someone who needs to, if you're someone fighting against this thing and it's mutating quick, you better get in that. You better get rid of it pretty fast. Otherwise, you are going to be in a world of hurt. Reconnaissance mission is because little spoiler, they did spoil all the Godzilla stuff, like the Japanese card versions of all the Godzilla alternate art came out. I'm surprised. Was it Kamonga? It wasn't used for this one. Oh well. Reconnaissance mission, 2 blue, 2 of any color for an enchantment, uncommon. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. And you can cycle this card for 2. Honestly, that's to a player, yeah, you'd be going in my unblockable deck, absolutely. Crystalline Giant, 3 of any color for a 3/3 giant artifact creature, or artifact creature giant, rare. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, choose one kind of counter at random that Crystalline Giant doesn't have. From among flying, first strike, death touch, hexproof, lifelink, reach, trample, vigilance, menace, +1/+1 counter of that kind, and put it on this card. Should note, this is Mechagodzilla, by the way. This is the Mechagodzilla one. Look, I love cards like this, honestly. Like the weird options, doing it at random. I think it's just fun, and plus, it's got the potential to get crazy dangerous. Let's just break it down. Let's use 3 random combinations here. Let's say it gets hexproof first, meaning it can't be targeted. Then it gets a +1 counter. So now you got a 4/4 with hexproof. Well, that's not good. And then let's just say the next one it gets is death touch. Now you got a hexproof death touch 4/4. And then you keep stacking that on. it immediately becomes a problem. And then let's assume you mutate something like a glowstone recluse or something on this card. And then the creature now has all the abilities of this. Oh, God. Mutating something onto this thing would be disgusting. Mysterious Egg. This is the Mothra egg. It's a colorless creature, surprisingly. One of any color for a 0/2 egg. When this creature mutates, you put a +1 counter on it. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Absolutely. Obviously, well, you'd mutate onto it. So Glowstone Recluse mutate. So actually, doing it with Glowstone Recluse would actually be pretty advantageous, because then you would basically be getting 3 +1 counters for the price of 1 now. Anytime you mutate, you're getting 3 +1 counters. Plus reach, which means I assume you'd put Recluse on top of this. So 3 counters, that means you immediately made yourself a 5/6 in one. Literally, turn 1 this, turn 2 something else, and then, how about turn 2 Savannah Sabertooth for 3/1? Why not? And then turn 3 this onto Mysterious Egg. There you go. You're already on turn 3, have a 5/6 with reach that's just going to get bigger with more mutate. Oh my God, it's disgusting. And I love every minute of it. Wilt is it's a new naturalize. And it's better because it has an extra ability. It's naturalized with cycling, essentially. That's fine. I'd rather hold on to it, quite frankly. But still good. Wingfold Petron. 1 blue, 5 any color for a 3/6 dinosaur. When it enters the battlefield, your choice of flying counter or a hexproof counter on it. I'm wondering if we're going to see a cycle of these, like with with that black one that enters with a combination of them. I wonder if we're going to see more of a cycle of those. Gem Razor, which is your Anguirus. I think I actually already went over this. Yes, I did. But this is essentially Anguirus, is what it is. Its mutate cost, though, is pretty cheap. I didn't even realize it had mutate now I look at it. Maybe I've got this wrong. This is Anguirus. Okay, yeah, this one was Anguirus. But yeah, sweet. I mean, he's got mutate. Sweet. Yadaro Wandering Monster. 2 red, 5 of any color for an 8/8 Dinosaur Turtle. Now, many people thought this was going to be Gamera. I can tell you right now, this is not Gamera. This is actually Shin Godzilla, which I'm like, that's interesting for a dinosaur turtle, but all right. Rare, trample, and haste. Cycling, 1 red and 1 of any color. Now, this is interesting. When you cycle this monster, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you've cycled a card named this card more than 4 or more times this game, put it into the battlefield from the graveyard instead. You do this before you draw a card. I think you still draw the card. I think you just do it in terms of like reacting to things. So basically, honestly, unless this is late game and I suddenly draw it, and I'll be like, okay, trample, haste, 8/8. I'm going to play this for its draw ability, get me a card, and just put it back. So, yeah. This is actually a really cool design, and I like it a lot. So, yeah, I like this card. I think it's a good card. Quill Phoenix. 2 red, 2 of any color for a 4/4 Phoenix creature, rare. Mutate is also surprisingly 4. 3 of any color and 1 red. Flying. Whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with pay 1 of any color, sacrifice Feather, and return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I'm getting 4 of these. They're going in the Phoenix deck that I'm making. I love this. I love everything about this. First off, it's a 4/4 fire for 4. It's on the curb. It's absolutely good. But the recursion is what's interesting. Now, if the creature dies, obviously, when it's mutating, it's probably not going to be a Phoenix at that point. Or if it's still a Phoenix, great. But it'll be in the graveyard at that point. The feather counter stays no matter what, unless you destroy it. So you sacrifice that and then bring it back and start mutating again. It's beautiful, really. And then you can also, if you're in a Phoenix deck, you don't have to bring this back. You can bring other Phoenixes back without paying their absurd mana cost sometimes, or whatever their condition is. I really dig this. I think this is really cool. To be fair, though, in a world of Ikoria where mutants and mutated monsters exist, I would have preferred a more wacky-looking Phoenix, but still, I'll dig on this. And the thing, this is Destroya, by the way. For those of us Godzilla fans, that's Destroya. I find that amazing and awesome. Dirge Bat. 2 black, 2 of any color for a rare. Bat. Menace. Mutate for 2 black and 4 of any color, 3/3, flash and flying. When this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. You know people are going to be doing crazy things with this son of a bitch. Yeah, this is going to be a monster you're going to need to deal with, because this is prime removal right here. This removal people are going to want to use. My best guess, one second. I just ate, so I got a little crap stuck in there. My best guess is going to be you're probably going to play as the 3/3 with flash first and then mutate onto it. But still, yeah, or either above or below. Either way, you'll still get the effect off. And this is, oh god, the Batra. This is Batra, by the way. And again, in Godzilla lore, that's Batra. We already went over Koulikov. That's his initial art. Honestly, I think it actually looks a little better in its initial art than its expanded art. My opinion. Fiend Artisan, though, is 2 black hybrid, 2 Gruul hybrid mono for a mythic rare 1/1 Nightmare. I was a little surprised when I saw this. It gets +1/+1 for each creature card in the graveyard. In your graveyard, mind you. Now you can pay X and 1 hybrid Gruul, tap this card, sacrifice another creature, and search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. So essentially, you're fueling this little son of a bitch into a big son of a bitch and getting bigger sons of bitches. This is kind of weird, nuts, disgusting, and I want you're insane. You're a monster, and I want everything to do with you. Like, what the hell? How am I doing on time right now? We're at 30 minutes. We still got a couple more cards to go through. I love the card, though. I really do. I'm not a big black-green player, but I do like this card quite a bit. Dranith Magistrate. 1 white, 1 of any color for a 1/3 human wizard. Rare, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Seeing as there is some solid graveyard recursion in the set, makes sense. Yeah. It's not bad, though. I mean, it's just a 1/3 for 2, so it's fine. Channeled Forest. 1 black, red, 1 white. 1 red, 1 white. 1 red, 1 blue. 2 of any color for instant. Uncommon. As initial cost to cast a spell, discard X cards. Target player draws X cards. And Channeled Forest deals X damage up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Now, should note, this does spoil who the final planeswalker on the plane is. And it's a planeswalker that actually got leaked a while ago, but whether that's the real version or not is yet to be seen. It's Narset. Narset's the 3rd planeswalker on this plane. Now, what is Narset doing here? We have no idea. I was assuming that 3rd planeswalker would be kind of antagonistic to the plot. Normally, that's kind of how it works. The green blue one from Eldraine. He was more or less the antagonist in the plot. In Theros, technically speaking, Heliod was the antagonist, but in terms of a planeswalker antagonist, Ashiok, even Koulikov, he was a bit of an antagonist. So I was assuming that if Narset is an antagonist, that's weird. But this also shows that her colors are blue and red at minimum. The leak, I can't remember what it did, implies that she's actually full on Jeskai colors again in this set. Because remember, she lost her red initially when she became a planeswalker in the new timeline. So maybe she gains her red back in this, and now she's a full-on another planeswalker. So that Jeskai planeswalker. So we'll see on that. I was going to do a video on guessing what the new last planeswalker was, but there goes that video. Oh well. We'll see what happens with Narset. General Kudro of the Dranith. 1 black, 1 white, 1 of any color for a 3/3 human soldier, legendary creature, mythic rare. Other humans you control get +1/+1. Great for your human deck. Whenever this guy or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. You can pay 2, sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. As long as that creature doesn't have hexproof, obviously. Which I find it because technically speaking, it can kill all the apex predators or apex monsters unless they mutated with hexproof or a creature with hexproof or gotten a hexproof counter. In which case, hypothetically speaking, he's both dangerous to anything on the plane and he could easily be killed by anything on the plane. I do like how they do the crystals in their armor. I think that's really cool. But as a card, this guy's good because you exile a target card from an opponent's graveyard when creatures enter the battlefield, humans enter the battlefield, and you can exile bigger things as well. So I think it's a good card. Dire Cactus is 1 black, 1 white for a instant uncommon. Exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. Very much in the human decks, absolutely. Because I like that little stipulation that it kind of forces you in the human deck. Otherwise, it'd be a good card. Definitely would be a good card. Chittering Harvester. I don't think this is the card monster we see in the trailer. In that poster we get with Ikoria, that like moving poster, that where Narset and her mana card creature are facing down the giant ass monster. We see that monster again later on in the trailer. I'm hypothetically thinking that that might be like the biggest beast on the plane. So we'll see what happens there. Chittering Harvester though is 1 black, 5 mana color. Mutate cost is 1 less, 4 mana color. And 1 black for 4/6 that when this creature mutates, opponent sacrifices a creature. Again, if you can get this thing to mutate and get it to mutate a couple times, your opponent's in a lot of shit. Also Insatiable Hemophage? Well, they're talking about blood, so I'm going to guess that's Hemophage. Or Hemophage, maybe. 1 black, 3 mana color for a 3/3 Nightmare. Its mutate cost is actually 1 less than that. 1 black and 2 of any color with a death touch creature, so it's a 3/3 death touch for 4, automatically useful. When this card mutates, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of times this creature is mutated. That thing's going to need to die pretty quick if you're going up against it, simply because it's gonna drain you quick and it's gonna drain you fast. Migration Path is 1 green, 3 of any color, sorcery, uncommon. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle your library. You can cycle. Those cards are always great, especially in something like a set like this where you're going to need the mana. Definitely a good card. Skull Prophet is Gruul, 1 black, 1 green, 3/1 human druid, uncommon. Taps for 1 green or black, or you could tap it and put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard. That probably has to do with the Last Apex's ability, because basically what the Last Apex's ability does, let me see if he's been he hasn't been legitimately revealed yet. I mean, he has, but he hasn't, is that he's a 5/5 with lifelink and death touch, the whole mutate stuff. When he mutates, he basically brings back creatures with a total power of 10 to the field. So this is clearly to do that. But yeah, still fantastic. It's a good card. It's a good card. Phase Dolphin. I love that. But it's a whale. Come on, man. Elemental whale. We want a dolphin. No, whatever. 1 blue, 2 of any color for a 1/4. Whenever it attacks, another target creature can't be blocked this turn. These kind of effects are always good in combat. And it's a good card, honestly, for its price and what you're getting. Mythos of Vadrok. 2 red, 2 of any color for a sorcery. Rare. Deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures or planeswalkers. Now, if white and blue was spent to cast this spell, until the next turn, those permanents can't attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. I think this is actually pretty solid, quite frankly. I will say, to get the full effect, obviously, you need to be in Jeskai colors, obviously. But it's really not that bad at all. It's pretty solid. Even just on its own without if you spent this, it's still a card that is capable of, divvying out a solid amount of damage on the board. So, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Maybe not the best card. I think the white one, I think, is the best one so far. This is probably, I think, the second best. To be fair, the black one's probably the best because it's just straight removal. Fertilid, which is, I believe, a reprint. 0/0, it's an elemental, comes out with 2/1 counters. You sacrifice a counter and you search your library for a land. Yeah, it's a reprint. I remember that card. Neutralize, 2 blue, 1 of a color for basically cancel, but you can also cycle for 2. So it's a slightly better version of cancel at uncommon. Makes sense. Valiant Rescuer. I'd like to just carry him. I want the action music going right there. 1 white, 1 of any color for a 3/1 human soldier with cycle, 2. Whenever you cycle another card for the first time this turn, you put a 1/1 white human creature token onto the battlefield. Good. It's good. Boon of the Wishgiver. 2 blue, 4 of any color for a sorcery uncommon with cycling 1. Or you could just draw 4 cards. So you get to pay the 1, draw the 1 card, or wait out for 6 and draw 4. Either way, you're getting your money's worth on that. So I'd say it's a good card. Barrier Breach. 1 green, 2 of any color for an instant. Exile up to 3 target enchantments, cycle it for 2. I love how someone put it. Even the monsters of Ikoria have an answer for the gods of Theros. Last but not, it's a good card. It's a really good card. Especially for going up against Theros and that just came out before this. Crusher of the Quartz is 2 of any color, 2 red, and 1 green for a dinosaur beast, rare, trample. Whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deal combat damage to a player, create an XX green beast dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures deal this turn. Ah, man. That's actually pretty awesome. Now, let's be clear. Against big, meaty walls, maybe you're only going to get 2 or 3 damage. But still, you're getting more and more beasts with this, with trample. And then you can mutate on those guys. I told you at the beginning of the video, this set is quickly becoming one of my most favorite sets of all time. I think I'll do a favorite set video after this set comes out, so I can really gauge my ultimate feelings about it. But I'm loving the lore, I'm loving the flavor, I'm loving the creatures, I'm loving everything about this. So this will be the last match video probably for this week. I'm not going to do the Commander stuff, and I'll be back on Monday with the next batch of legitimate set spoilers. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Have a good one, folks.